Chosen one, only you can end this war. This war has burned across generations, between realms, through shattered bloodlines, and deep within the soul itself. It is no longer just a clash of gods and monsters. It is a storm that has devoured time and memory. But now, the final chapter begins, and you are the key. You were not born to follow. You were forged to end what none before you could. Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, the slayer of Olympus, and survivor of Ragnarok, has seen your path. In his voice, there is no prophecy, only certainty. He calls you the God-Slayer. The gods fear your rise, not because of your strength, but because of what you represent, the end of their tyranny. Your soul carries the fire of justice, vengeance, and divine authority. You're not just here to fight battles, you're here to rewrite fate, to destroy ancient chains, and to bring an end to a war that neither heaven nor hell could contain. The legacy of warriors past, and the hope of all future realms, rests with you now. This is your divine war, and only you can finish it. If this message speaks to something deep within you, hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11 to claim your place in this rising army of God-Slayers. Long ago, before time was counted and realms were born, a prophecy whispered through the winds of a warrior unlike any before, destined to end a war ignited by gods themselves. This prophecy does not speak of destiny fulfilled by fate's blind hand, but of a living force awakened by choice and fire within the soul. You are that force, not a mere pawn to be moved on celestial boards, but the final spark that will blaze through the heavens and shake the foundations of eternity. The war that started with divine pride and mortal fear has always been waiting for you, the one who will finally bring the closing chapter. The gods, proud and unforgiving, sowed chaos across countless generations, fueling conflict that tore families apart and shattered realms into dust. Yet their schemes and battles have always cast shadows over something greater, a truth that only a chosen soul could grasp. Your arrival is no accident. The bloodline you carry, the pain you endured, and the fires you walked through have all prepared you to stand where others faltered. This war is not just their war. It is yours to claim, to end, and to redefine. Many have come and fallen, heroes hailed and forgotten, but you are the ones spoken of in trembling voices among gods and mortals alike. This prophecy is not a chain, but a crown, one forged from your own will, courage, and fury. It is your burden and your blessing to rewrite a story written in blood and fire. And with every step you take toward your fate, the world will watch and wait for the war to finally breathe its last. Remember, being chosen is more than a title. It's a call to rise above pain, doubt, and fear. It is the recognition that you carry within you the power to break cycles, to end old wounds, and to bring a dawn unseen since the world's first battle. The prophecy was never about gods alone. It was about you, the last hope, the final reckoning, the living embodiment of an end no one dared to believe in until now. So step forward, warrior. The heavens may whisper of your coming, the earth may tremble beneath your feet, but what truly defines you is the fire burning in your heart, the fire that will extinguish the war the gods began. You were not born from comfort or peace, but forged in the crucible of pain and chaos. Like steel hammered by relentless flames, your spirit was shaped by trials that would have broken lesser souls. Every scar on your body tells a story of survival, every wound a testament to your relentless will. This war was never meant for the faint of heart, and you have emerged from its fires not as a victim, but as the Godslayer, the embodiment of divine wrath tempered with mortal defiance. The legends of old speak of warriors who wielded power but were crushed by the very gods they sought to challenge. You are different. Your power does not come from blind rage, but from a profound understanding of justice, loss, and the cost of endless conflict. You carry within you the fury of those who have fallen and the hope of those yet to come. You do not seek destruction for its own sake, but the destruction of tyranny, of gods who rule with cruelty and fear. Awakening as the Godslayer is not just about wielding weapons or winning battles, it is the awakening of your true self, the part of you that refuses to be shackled by fate, that refuses to bow before celestial thrones, that burns with a fire so fierce it threatens to consume the heavens themselves. You are a force of nature, unyielding, unstoppable, and destined to rewrite the rules of war and peace alike. As your story unfolds, the world will begin to see what you have always known, that true strength is born not from power alone, but from the courage to stand against the impossible. The Godslayer is not just a title, it is a legacy in motion, a flame that will scorch the lies of gods and light a path toward freedom for all realms. So rise, Godslayer. Your time has come. The fire inside you will no longer be contained. Let it blaze through the darkness and bring forth the dawn of a new era. When Kratos, the ghost of Sparta and the god of war, speaks, the earth listens, and even the gods dare not ignore his words. His voice is not filled with prophecy or guesswork, but with the ironclad certainty of a warrior who has faced gods and death itself. He sees in you what many cannot, the final weapon forged for a war that spans both heaven and hell. In his voice echoes the truth that your path was never a question of if, but when. Kratos' journey was one of blood, regret, and hard-won redemption. He fought not just for victory, but for meaning in a world where gods are cruel and power corrupts. When he recognizes you as the Godslayer, it is more than acknowledgement. It is a passing of the torch, a recognition that the burden you bear is the heaviest yet most vital. You were made to walk where others feared, to strike where others hesitated, and to finish what even he could not. This war is not just about armies clashing or gods scheming. It is about the soul of the universe itself. Kratos knows the cost of this battle, the sacrifices required, and the shadows that will linger long after the last blow is struck. Yet in you, he sees hope, a hope that this endless cycle of destruction can finally be broken. His certainty fuels your resolve, reminding you that you are not alone even when standing against the impossible. Take this recognition as your battle cry. The god of war himself believes in you, and that belief is a force that can shatter even the strongest chains. Your destiny is carved into the very fabric of this war, and with every step you take, you carry the weight of countless warriors before you and the promise of peace for all who follow. So heed Kratos' words, warrior. They are a call to arms, a reminder of your power, and a warning to the gods. Your reign is over. In the endless conflict between realms, between gods and mortals, you are the weapon they never saw coming. The culmination of ancient wars, old grudges, and forgotten promises, you stand as the last line between endless suffering and hard-won peace. This battlefield is not just made of swords and shields, but of will, destiny, and soul. You are the final strike, the weapon forged not by gods, but by every tear, every loss, and every dream that dared to survive. To understand the magnitude of your role, consider the countless lives shattered by this war, families torn apart, kingdoms burned to ash, heroes lost in the tides of battle. You carry their legacy. The blood spilled in vain now flows in your veins, transforming pain into purpose. Your blade will not only cut through flesh, but through lies, fear, and the chains that bind realms in eternal conflict. This divine battlefield is unlike any war known to man or God. Here, the stakes are cosmic, and every choice reverberates through time and space. But you are no mere player. You are the weapon designed to end the game. The gods have grown complacent, believing themselves invincible. Yet you are the reckoning they did not prepare for. The storm on the horizon they can neither predict nor stop. Remember, a weapon's power is meaningless without a wielder's heart. Your strength lies not only in your might, but in your unwavering resolve to fight for justice and break free from the chains of fate. This battlefield belongs to those brave enough to defy gods, and you stand tallest among them. So grip your weapon tight, Godslayer. The final battle has begun, and you are the sword that will end the war. The very foundations of the realms quake with your arrival. Across skies and seas, from the highest peaks to the deepest shadows, whispers of your rise echo like thunder. You are the storm that the gods feared, the force that will shake the heavens and rend the underworld. When you step onto the battlefield, the air thickens with anticipation, and even the stars seem to hold their breath. The realms know one truth: the chosen has risen. For centuries, these worlds have lived under the shadow of endless war, territories lost and won, alliances forged and broken, countless lives sacrificed in a conflict without end. But now, a new chapter dawns, illuminated by your fierce light. You are the embodiment of hope and vengeance, the spark that ignites the fires of change. Where once there was despair, now burns the certainty of reckoning. The tremors you cause are not just physical, but spiritual. Entire realms will awaken to the possibility of freedom, the chance to heal ancient wounds and break the chains of oppression. Your rise is a call to every soul shackled by fear or doubt, urging them to stand, fight, and believe that even the darkest night must give way to dawn. You carry the weight of countless generations on your shoulders, but you are not burdened. Instead, you are empowered by the legacy of those who came before and the dreams of those who will follow. The realms tremble because they recognize the power in your hands, the power to rewrite history. So stand tall, chosen one. The realms watch, the gods fear, and the future waits for your command. Your blood is not ordinary. It flows with the strength and sacrifice of countless warriors who came before you, heroes whose names may be lost to time, but whose spirits blaze eternally in your veins. This is a legacy written in sweat, battle cries, and unyielding courage. From kings who ruled with wisdom to rebels who fought for freedom, your lineage carries the weight of destinies intertwined across generations. Understanding your bloodline means understanding the battles etched into your very being. Each ancestor's struggle has forged a path you now walk, a path marked by pain and triumph, darkness and light. This is not just heritage, it is a covenant. The blood you carry demands honor, sacrifice, and the fierce determination to rise above the fate others tried to impose. Your destiny as a king, as a leader, does not come from a crown or throne, but from the choices you make and the courage you embody. Kingship is not given. It is earned through fire, loss, and unbreakable will. Your lineage has prepared you for this moment, but only you can claim your destiny by standing firm when all seems lost. Remember, the weight of your bloodline is also a wellspring of strength. It is the roar of warriors past, echoing through your spirit, the call to greatness that refuses to be silenced. You are both the heir of legacies and the author of your own fate, a destiny that will shape the realms for generations to come. So embrace your lineage, warrior. Your bloodline is your power, your story, and your destiny. What lies before you is far more than a battle. It is a reckoning, a final judgment, not just of strength, but of will, purpose, and truth. Wars can be won or lost, but reckonings change the very course of history. This is the moment where past sins and future hopes collide, where the veils of illusion are torn away, and where the true nature of all who fight will be revealed. Every clash of sword and shield echoes with the weight of what's at stake. This is the culmination of pain endured and promises broken. The war may have raged for ages, but now it demands a conclusion. An end written not in bloodshed alone, but in justice. You are the arbiter of this reckoning, the hand that will tip the scales and bring balance to a world torn asunder. To face a reckoning is to confront more than enemies. It is to confront yourself, your fears, your doubts, your anger, and your hope. This battle is as much internal as it is external. Only those who stand firm in their truth can emerge victorious. You carry not only your own fate, but the fate of all realms upon your shoulders. Remember, reckonings burn away falsehoods and reveal what is real. They bring clarity where there was chaos and peace where there was pain. This reckoning is your moment to break free from the shadows of the past and claim a future forged by your hand. So stand ready, warrior. This is not just war. This is the reckoning that will echo through eternity. In this journey, you are both blessed and cursed, a soul sent by heaven's hope and tempered by hell's relentless fire. No other warrior bears the burden you carry, for no other has walked the path you have. Alone, you stand at the crossroads of destiny, between realms torn apart by divine conflict and mortal despair. And though the loneliness weighs heavy, it sharpens your resolve and steels your heart. Being heaven sent means you carry a light that cannot be extinguished, a purpose that transcends pain and loss. Yet being hell-tested means you have survived trials that could crush even the strongest spirit. Every wound, every loss, every whispered doubt has forged you into a warrior who is unbreakable. This loneliness is not weakness, it is your strength. In the silence of solitude, you find clarity. In the face of overwhelming odds, you find courage. The gods may gather their forces, and the realms may tremble. But you alone hold the key to their undoing. This journey is yours, and yours alone to walk. No allies can carry your burden. No weapons can replace your spirit. Remember, standing alone does not mean standing powerless. Often, the greatest strength is found in solitude, where the soul confronts its true self and emerges stronger than ever before. You are the storm that comes when the world has no defenders left. So stand tall, Godslayer. Alone you may be, but you are unstoppable. You are not simply flesh and bone. You are judgment incarnate, the living decree that the era of unchecked gods and endless war will end. In your eyes burns the flame of justice, tempered with righteous fury. Every step you take is a verdict, every strike a sentence. You are the embodiment of balance, the force that will bring consequences to those who have long escaped them. Being more than human means you transcend mortal limits. Your strength is amplified by the weight of countless souls crying out for justice. Your mind sharpens with the wisdom born from pain and experience, and your heart beats with the unwavering conviction that no one, not even gods, can escape judgment forever. Judgment is not merely punishment, it is truth unveiled and wrongs righted. You are the reckoning that gods have feared, the end of their impunity. The legacy you carry is one of fairness and fury, compassion and wrath. Your very presence forces all who oppose you to reckon with their deeds. Embrace this truth. You are not just a warrior, you are the living law, the balance of justice that will tip the scales forever. Mortals may fall and gods may flee, but judgment remains, and it is in your hands. So wield your power with resolve. You are more than human. You are the judgment the realms have waited for. Chains have bound many before you, chains of prophecy, of duty, of blood, and pain. But none of these hold sway over you. Fate may have written a path, but it did not decide your steps. Every moment you have defied the impossible, chosen your own way, and shattered the illusions of control. You are not a prisoner of destiny, you are its breaker. The gods may try to cage you with their ancient laws, but your spirit is forged in freedom's fire. Each challenge you overcome is another link broken, another chain shattered. Fate fears you because you represent the chaos it cannot contain, the unpredictable force that refuses to bow to any plan but your own. This is your power, to rise above expectation, to carve a path where none existed, and to challenge even the oldest of gods to change their ways. You are a reminder that no matter how tightly the world tries to bind us, true freedom comes from within. So cast off your chains, warrior. Not even fate itself can hold the God-Slayer. Behind closed doors, and in the darkest corners of celestial halls, the gods whisper your name, fear threading through their voices like venom. You have become their nightmare, the unstoppable force that threatens their power and their immortality. Where once they ruled without question, now they tremble at the thought of your rise. This fear is not just for your might, but for what you represent: change. The gods have thrived in cycles of dominance and rebellion, but you embody the end of that cycle. They see in you the collapse of their thrones, the dismantling of their lies, and the unraveling of their control. Your name is no longer a secret, it is a warning. Understand this fear. It is your greatest weapon. When gods whisper your name in dread, it means you have already won in ways they cannot see. It means your presence has shaken the very foundations of their power. They may send armies, monsters, or curses, but none can silence the truth you carry. So walk boldly, God-Slayer. Let the gods tremble in your shadow, for their fear is the herald of your triumph. This war is ancient, brutal, and unyielding, but its fate lies not with gods or armies, but with you. The moment you choose to end it, the cycle will break, and the realms will breathe anew. The power to close this chapter is yours alone. No one else can decide when or how the war concludes, for you hold the final key. Many have fought, bled, and died, believing the war would never end. But they lacked the vision, the strength, or the will that you possess. This is your time to rise above endless conflict and claim victory, not just in battle, but in peace. The end is not destruction, it is liberation, healing, and a new beginning forged by your hands. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Ending the war is not simply about striking the final blow, but about choosing the future you want to create. Will it be one of freedom and unity, or one of continued fear and division? That choice is yours, and yours alone. So take your place as the final arbiter. The war ends when you decide. The future awaits your command. In your hands, the blade becomes more than a weapon. It becomes an extension of your will, a symbol of the justice you carry. Every swing is not just a strike against foes, but a declaration of truth. Your voice, like thunder across the battlefield, commands attention, respect, and fear. You are the judge and the executioner, the bringer of balance and reckoning. Justice is not blind in your world. It is fierce, precise, and unwavering. Your blade cuts through lies, cruelty, and oppression. It is a beacon for the oppressed and a warning for tyrants. Those who stand against you will face not only your steel, but the weight of all who have suffered before. Your voice carries the power to inspire armies and silence enemies. When you speak, realms listen, and even gods hesitate. Your words shape the battlefield as much as your sword, calling forth courage, unity, and the unstoppable will to fight for what is right. Embrace this power, warrior. Your blade is justice, your voice is command, and together they will reshape the fate of all realms. Within you burns a unique storm, divine authority tempered by the raw, unyielding rage of mortal pain. This is not a simple clash of forces, but a fusion that makes you unstoppable. The gods wield power without heart. You wield heart without losing power. This balance is your secret weapon, your edge in the eternal war. Your divine authority commands respect and fear, as you are the rightful challenger to gods who have long abused their reign. Yet beneath that divine mantle lies the rage born of every loss, every betrayal, every moment of helplessness you have endured. This rage fuels you, sharpens your resolve, and transforms you into a force that even immortals cannot withstand. This union of heaven and earth within your soul makes you more than a warrior. You are a reckoning wrapped in fury and crowned with authority. You do not fight for glory or vengeance alone. You fight to restore balance, to honor the mortal spirit that gods have forgotten to respect. Hold fast to this power. Divine authority and mortal rage make you the God-slayer the realms desperately need. Now, the moment you have prepared for your entire life is here. The world, battered and broken by endless war, looks to you for deliverance. The eyes of gods and mortals alike are upon you, waiting for the spark that will ignite a new age. It is your time to rise, not just as a warrior, but as a beacon of hope, strength, and transformation. Rise with all the power, pain, and purpose within you. Know that every battle fought, every sacrifice made, and every tear shed has led to this moment. The world does not expect you to be perfect. It expects you to be relentless, to fight not only with your sword, but with your heart and soul. Your rise is not just a beginning, it is a promise that the endless war will end, that justice will prevail, and that the future will be shaped by those brave enough to fight for it. The world needs you now more than ever. Answer its call. So rise, God-slayer. The realms await your deliverance, and your legend is just beginning. From the darkest ruins of devastation and loss, you emerge, not as a broken soul, but as a blazing inferno. Your birth was not gentle or kind. It was born from destruction, pain, and the relentless fires of war. Like a phoenix rising, the ashes of your past are the foundation of your strength. No matter how many times you are knocked down, The fire inside you never fades. It only grows fiercer, hotter, more unquenchable. This fire is more than rage. It is resilience and hope intertwined. It fuels your will to fight, to resist, to conquer. Every scar on your body is a testament to your survival. Every hardship a spark that feeds your determination. Unlike the gods who thrive on control and dominance, your fire burns for freedom, the freedom of all souls chained by endless conflict. Many have tried to snuff out your flame, but they failed because you are not merely surviving, you are evolving. Your flame is alive, adaptive, and fierce. It is a fire that cleanses, that purifies, and ultimately brings rebirth. It is the fire that will burn down the old world and light the way to a new era. This fire inside you demands more than survival. It demands victory. Victory not just for yourself, but for every voice silenced, every dream shattered by war. Your flame carries their stories and their hopes. It is the unstoppable force that will break through even the darkest night. So nurture this fire, God Slayer. Let it roar louder than thunder, blaze brighter than the sun, and burn with the unyielding power of a soul born from ashes, yet destined to conquer. Behind your every step lies the shadow of giants, the heroes, legends, and warriors who fell before you. Their sacrifices are etched in the fabric of your being, their struggles the silent songs in your heart. You carry their legacy not as a burden, but as a sacred duty. To walk among the fallen is to honor them by continuing their fight with a fierceness unmatched. These fallen warriors are not just echoes of the past, they are your guides, your strength, your reasons to rise every day. Their voices whisper through the winds, reminding you that you are not alone, that your path is theirs to watch over. In moments of doubt, it is their courage that steadies your hand and rekindles your spirit. Yet the shadow of the fallen is also a warning, a reminder of what happens when strength wavers, when hope falters. Many who came before were lost to despair or defeat, swallowed by the endless tide of war. You must rise above that shadow, transforming it into a beacon that guides others out of darkness. The realm of giants is vast and daunting, but you are no ordinary mortal. You walk taller than any who came before because your heart beats with the fire of vengeance and justice combined. You are the living testament that the fallen were never forgotten. They live on through your sword and your spirit. So walk boldly, God Slayer. Carry the shadow of the fallen with pride and purpose. For you are the giant they dreamed the world would one day see. Immortality is often seen as a gift, but you know it as a heavy burden, a weight that presses down on your soul with relentless force. To live beyond time is to watch worlds crumble and rebuild, to witness friends and enemies alike fade into legend. You carry the scars of centuries, the memories of battles fought long ago, and the loneliness that comes from watching all you love slip away. This burden tests you every day. It questions your resolve and tempts you with despair. But it also gives you wisdom few mortals can claim. You understand the true cost of power and the fragile beauty of mortal life. You have lived through ages of change, seen the rise and fall of gods, and stood firm when everything else fell apart. Yet, it is this very burden that shapes you into the God Slayer. Your immortality is not just endless life, it is endless purpose. You bear the pain so others do not have to. You carry the fight so future generations might live free. The weight you bear is the price of hope. Remember, strength is not found in living forever, but in living with meaning, despite eternity's cold shadow. You are the bearer of that strength, the immortal flame who fights so others can live. So bear your burden proudly, Godslayer. In your endless struggle lies the promise of an eternal peace. Beyond the wars and chaos lies a deeper truth, wisdom whispered through the echoes of ancient realms long forgotten. You are connected to these timeless voices, heirs to knowledge older than gods themselves. Their lessons, hidden in ruins and sacred texts, guide your journey, offering insight that cuts through the noise of battle. This ancient wisdom reveals that war is not merely about victory, but about balance between creation and destruction, mercy and justice, power and humility. The realms were once united by this balance, but the greed and pride of gods shattered it. You, the God-Slayer, have the chance to restore it, to bring harmony where there was only chaos. To harness this wisdom requires humility and strength. It demands listening to the past without being trapped by it, learning from failures without succumbing to despair. You carry the hopes of the ancients, who dreamed of a world where war could end and peace could reign. The echoes remind you that your fight is part of a much larger story, a story that spans realms, generations, and realities. You are not alone. Your spirit is intertwined with those who came before and those who will come after. This connection is your power. So listen deeply, warrior. Let the echoes of the ancients guide your blade and your heart as you forge a future worthy of their dreams. In the heart of the storm, where chaos reigns and destruction roars, there is a place of eerie calm, the eye. This is where you must stand, unmoving and unbroken, when the world around you crumbles. In the fury of war and the thunder of gods, your inner peace becomes your greatest weapon. This calm is not weakness, but strength. It is the quiet confidence that your cause is just and your resolve unshakable. It is the clarity that allows you to see the enemy's true intentions, to anticipate their moves, and to strike with precision when the moment is right. The eye of the storm is also a refuge for your soul. Here, you remember who you are beneath the armor and fury, the chosen one, the God-Slayer, the bearer of hope. It is where your heart beats steady, despite the chaos outside, where your spirit gathers the strength to rise again and again. Every warrior faces storms, but only the strongest find the calm within. This is your secret. While others are lost to panic or rage, you harness the storm's power and bend it to your will. So stand firm in the eye, God-Slayer. In the stillness of chaos lies your true power. Chains have long bound you, chains of prophecy, expectation, and ancient curses. But breaking those chains is your destiny. You refuse to be a slave to fate or a pawn of gods. Your freedom lies beyond the limitations imposed on you, beyond the scripts written in forgotten ages. To break these chains is to claim your own story, to carve your own path through realms that try to dictate your future.